Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 25th, 27th. Whoa.
Red light, camera ahead.
I am headed to my first job of the day, which is a repair on an RTU that I was at, where everything was falling apart. Needed a new heat exchanger, so I'm replacing a few components. Just kind of trying to get it all back up in somewhat reasonable condition. But we hired Josh back yesterday, and the reason that he was fired originally was because of how many times he was late within the short period of time that he was with us. And Mike was like, yeah, we'll take him back, because he kept asking and asking and asking. And second day back, 7:58, he still hasn't shown up to the office yet, so that's spectacular. But hopefully I get some good footage of this rooftop unit. My schedule's not like jam-packed, so I should be able to get some decent footage of it. Okay, so here's our unit on the roof in Queens. Here's our model and serial number. Let's see, 2006. We are running right now, but I'm gonna pop the covers off this unit and show you everything that we're dealing with here. I did bring a roof up, or a roof up. I brought a rope up to the roof so that I can drop things down and pull things up, since the heat exchanger is a bit heavy on this unit, but it's a ream. Okay, so I got the cover pulled off of our unit. You can see all the rusting and the corrosion going on in here. So all that's gonna be replaced. And we got this with some tape on our heat exchanger up there. And they just cut this panel wide open. So gonna get this fixed up as best I can. Probably use some of the excess metal to like hold it in. Heat exchanger being replaced, and all the burner components are being replaced. I'll get this capacitor mounted properly. Power's shut off. Right now I'm just gonna get everything up here. That way I know I have all the right parts. Just compare everything. It's distinct to take it all apart, and then I don't have what I need. But everything should be right. It's just nuts that all this stuff was like taped over, and how badly our heat exchangers rotting out. People are trying to keep this running. They use Teflon on our gas valve, which you can't do in New York. Shouldn't do at all anyway, because then you run the risk of clogging up the gas valve with Teflon that shreds off when you tighten it. But it's what it is. So I'm gonna get this all fixed up. Okay, so I'm waiting for Peter to get here to help me get this heat exchanger up. I can't get it up. There's a gutter in the way and an overhang, but I got all the parts lined up. I'm gonna start working on taking everything apart so that I can get this heat exchanger out. It does look like it's gonna be a little bit of an annoying heat exchanger to replace, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna get started pulling out all of our components that are right here for now, and then we can work on figuring the rest out. Okay, so pulled our burners out, a burner tray, a little tape fix for rollout. And here's the tubes of that heat exchanger, which is pretty brutal. Shine my flash down in there. It's in rough shape. And I just pulled off our inducer with our, I forget what they call this plate, collector plate. But you can see how badly it's been burning, how much soot shouldn't be soot with gas-fired equipment. And I got new, I think they call them tubulators, the slips that you put in there. They go a long ways back. And if you don't put those in, it's very, very bad. So always got to replace those. But let's see for screws. A couple more screws in places. It comes up pretty high. Looks like it comes up all the way to here. So it's gonna be a fun time. Disconnecting all the electric right here and pulling it out. And I got everything loosened up. Just hold the control up so I didn't have to disconnect all the wiring. I zip tied it. That way it's a little bit simpler going back together, but should be able to pull the heat exchanger out now, hopefully. And there we go. An RTU without a heat exchanger. Like black mold in there, but here's all the tape that's covering up a bunch of holes. I'll pull that tape off and show it to you. You heard all that rust that came out of there? Yeah, we got holes on the bottom here. All these little black spots, if the screen's picking them up, those are all holes, full holes through. See, I can stick my fingernail in them. So, oh yeah, look at these. Let me get this tape off and show you. Here's Peter to help with getting the new one in, but I'm not even gonna bother taking the tape off all these because it's that big of a hole in there. Here's JetBlue. But we got the new heat exchanger up and just gonna compare it, make sure, but it looks exactly the same, so should be fine. And there we go, everything is correct. We'll throw the tubulators in and get it mounted in place, and we gotta get this one out of here. Let's see how much crud actually came out of this. Oh, look at that. That's all the heat exchanger. All that rust. That's crazy. Well, I don't know why they gave me the tubulators if it already came with them inside. Oh, you could see all the daylight through in the cracks. But yeah, so now they made me pay extra. That's stupid. Someone's got to bring that back to MCN now. What? These. They do something with baffling the exhaust gases so that you get more heat out of it. It's like really bad if you forget to put them in. Okay, so now we're gonna get the new one in. That side or you want this side? Stopping. Exchanger's hitting up on the. Yeah, here we go. Just gonna push it. It's like a glove. Go in more. New heat exchangers in. Just gotta get the bracket up there. That's over here. Lined up with where it needs to go. And then put everything else together. Some extra screws. But yeah. This thing's hard to use. It's so slow.
It also just decides where it wants to be.
And are we sticking out too far? No, we're not. Okay. So yeah, see, this thing's still, it's going the wrong way. There's all our old stuff, our rust. And this as well. Got our new gaskets. And look at what this thing's doing.
It decides what's centered and it sticks to it.
So
it's fixed.
yeah, this should be fun to put back together. Okay, so we got most things all put together. Screws in place. Our mounting bracket zipped in there. Rest of this is fairly straightforward. I'll match up the new burner components with how this burner's set up. Get our inducer on. And our gas manifolds back there. Should be straightforward from here. Okay, so got our burners in. Still gotta screw the igniter on. Flame sensors in. New rollout switch. All new plates to mount everything. So this should last him a good long time. Gotta get that mounted. Gotta get the collector plate mounted and the inducer motor mounted, as well as get the gas valve situated. Okay, so I got our capacitor mounted up. You can't see the label because it was ripped off by the electric tape. I tried to pull that in as tight as I could, but at least it won't pop out and hit somebody when they open up the pull off this cover panel here. I did throw the cover over the supply duct, that way we can run and burn the oils off the new heat exchanger. And I got all of our wiring hooked up. Our gas valve is in place using pipe dope. Neatened up our wiring and should be able to restore power. I'm just gonna pop this panel on here. Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, so to kick power on, let me just double check I didn't miss anything stupid. Yeah, we should be okay. Lower. No inducer. No error. So, guess we'll have a little bit of a wait and then we can fire it up and see how it's running. Okay, so we lit. And we got some nice, strong blue flames. A little bit of wind up here, so they're moving a tiny bit, but that's fine. We're sensing flame, it's staying lit. Just, excuse me, waiting for the smell to go away and everything while the unit runs. Condensing a little bit, but yeah, should be good to go. Just wrap it up, fill out the invoice and everything like that. Cleaning. Yeah, nice. And I just did a combustion test to make sure that it's burning clean, not doing anything odd. So we should be good to go. Everything's running very nicely. I think the smell is dissipated, so I think we can give them heat. And there we go. Still got some flame in there. Just pump the thermostat temperature up. I did have to pull a piece of tape off of here because they, I don't know why they taped it, but they did. All buttoned up, cleaned up. So, on to the next, which is a rooftop unit estimate. Okay, so I finished up with that, got paid. Now I'm headed to an estimate in Woodmere right by the shop. I'm gonna stop at Marinara and get a slice of pizza for myself, and I'll drop some off for Peter too, because Peter's just sitting in the office answering phones. But probably won't have much to record there. And then after that, I am going to East Meadow to a dentist office.
Red light, camera ahead.
To a customer that Peter, the other Peter, not my brother Peter, was at. And they have these like old systems that Mike told them to replace years ago. Supposedly they still haven't been replaced. And Peter was there for the boiler. And then like the blower stopped working for the hydronic coil. And he said it's the transformer, but he didn't actually confirm it. He just said the transformer's making noise. So I'm gonna see what I can get done there, if we can get the systems up and running for them, while we wait for replacement, if it's the case that they still haven't been replaced. Okay, here's that unit that Peter was at, and it doesn't look terrible, like it's in terrible shape. I guess looks are deceiving, but it really doesn't look very bad at all. But supposedly this transformer here was making an odd noise. Power is on, so let's see if we actually have that first. We do. We have power on both lines. Let's confirm with a voltmeter. Make sure that we have that full 240, I think it was wired up for. Yeah, it's wired up for 240, so let's see. We are missing a wire nut there. Where it went, I don't know. But let's see, where can I put this that's visible? This right here works, kinda. Man, that thing is loud. But let's see. It's powered on. Set for voltage automatically. Voltage. And we'll take our leads. Let's go from one side to the other. 248. We got solid 240 volts there. Now let's go from one side to the other on our 24 volts. And that looks okay to me. Looks like we got 29 volts. It's a solid voltage reading. So, what happens if I jump out my fan? Nothing yet. Do we have a blown fuse? Why do we have a blown fuse? Okay. Now we have a blown fuse. Got common. Move this out of the way for now. Got common. Going to what? Our blue wire, which is common. And we've got our white wire, which looks like it's going through to the boiler. Our red wire. We have a green wire and a red wire. Interesting. What is going on here? We got G and W going through here. which is up here. Looks like that may be what goes to our boiler. This is odd. We got our R wire broken by our pump. But I don't even see that R wire hooked up. We got a G wire and a white wire. Those go straight back over to the boiler. We can't be sending 24 volt power from this transformer to the boiler though. So where are those green and white wires going? Unless they go to our thermostat. Go up, over, and down. And right here. And we do not, we do have a power indicator here. Let's unlock this cover, which is perfect, a relay. Okay, we come in to R and W. R and W is going to, what is this, black and white. Okay, come up, shoot across, black and white, green and white. Okay, green and white. I gotta fix that. That can't work. Why is it like that? No wonder we're blowing the fuse. No wonder he was getting weird voltage readings. Interesting. Okay, so this is, I think it's dumb what I had to do here, but this is what I had to do, in the situation that I'm in, the situation that I'm faced with right now. That relay up there is new. It's just a standard relay there. We had two wires that go from the unit over to the boiler. And when Peter was here, he replaced this relay with the switching relay. The switching relay has its own transformer, so now, since this is gone, two transformers were feeding into each other because this isn't how it was set up to be used. So basically I have a switching general purpose relay in the air handler now, so that when you make a call for W, that transformer in the air handler will power the coil for our relay. And then on the contacts that the coil makes, which are just dry contacts, that will tell the boiler to fire. And now the boiler is fired. We are sending hot water. There is no means of temperature control as far as the temperature coming out of the ductwork. There's no aquastat here, so it is going to blow cold initially, which would have been what it did beforehand anyway. Peter told me that there was an aquastat here on the coil. There's not. And he told me that the transformer was giving between 0 volts and 70 volts randomly, which is exactly why, or exactly right, that it would be giving 70 because it's got two 24 volt transformers feeding into each other. And that blew their fuse. Luckily it blew the fuse rather than blowing both this transformer and that transformer, or one or the other. So it's just as easy as putting this relay in here, which I didn't really want to have to do. I don't like the way it looks and the way that it's done, but you have to do what you have to do. These boilers are ancient. They are well past due for replacement, and they've been told this, so I just told the guy that this is it. There's no reason to make any repairs to these two boilers anymore. They're done. So he understands. I made sure that that's clear with him, because this is just an endless money pit. And look at that. Our pressure is 25 psi. If that's even accurate, who knows? So it is what it is. He's up and running. He's got heat and he's got air conditioning. It's wired in a way that will work with no issues. Would it be nice to have some form of temperature control? Yes, but I'm not sure what was going through Peter's head in the diagnosis process here. He called me and he was telling me all these different things and nothing made sense. And it makes sense to me now because nothing was wired up in a sensible manner, but it is what it is. It's done, it's over with. I'll get paid for that relay, and we'll head off onto the next call, which is in Bayshore. Okay, so we didn't charge that customer just due to the situation. That
At the light,
should have been something that was
onto
noticed,
State Route 102.
but it wasn't. So we'd like to keep him as a customer, so no charge for that. I am headed now to Bayshore to a new customer that the other Mike was at earlier today. He's had a few people in. They replaced different parts on the boiler, but it sounds like his heat is overheating, like constantly running. I saw something in the notes about changing priority on the switching relay,
turn
but
right onto Hempstead Turnpike.
I'm going to see what I can do for him there. Okay, so here's what we got. Boiler that's been in since 2014, I believe is what he had said. We got ecom not connected. Good. Got power coming in. I just pulled off this cover panel so I could see what's going on. We got a second floor thermostat and a first floor thermostat. Second floor circulator and first floor circulator. And our second floor is not turning off. Second floor is supposedly powered by the boiler for domestic hot water. Why it's that way, I don't know. And this is TT from that zone, which TT is not calling. But our, let's see, domestic hot water. No, this is our domestic hot water. Okay. Which goes to our 2-wire connection. 2-wire goes in and out right there. 2-wire, 2-wire. It's going that way. I would lean towards this as our second floor, but it looks like this is what's hooked up currently as the second floor. So what can I do? I can put the phone down and I can disconnect. No, actually, let's do it right here. Let's disconnect one of our DHW terminals. Right, and our circulator shut off. Good. Okay. Do we currently have a call then? Is the question. I tested the wrong one. Let's go from one end here to ground, which is a little bit tricky to do one-handed. Got 24 volts there, and if we have 24 volts here, then that would mean that we have a call, and I would take it that that's because it's our first floor thermostat. Okay. So we have a call here coming from there, and that's telling this circulator to turn on. So trace this, right, and we come into here, which is this black wire here, and that is connected to our DHW. My guess is that we have our first and our second floor zones mixed up, so I'm gonna knock on the door and see if I could go inside. Okay, so here's where we're at. I switched our TTs, and it seems to be that is the issue at hand. However, we got water dripping. System has too much pressure in it. Expansion tank is solid, so we're gonna replace the expansion tank. Hoping pressure reducing valve is okay because it's all the way down there, and that's a tight spot to get in. I gotta go in there and I can reach to shut it off. Oh, got it. Okay, so our fill is off, our hose is on, our bucket is nearby. Okay. Now we can close off our drain, or open up our drain valve up here. Okay, so emptying out that pressure. Once the pressure's out, I can just shut that drain off and isolate our expansion tank, because I don't want to drain the whole boiler down. There we go. And no matter what, I'm gonna get water on this floor, so I'm gonna get this closed off, pop open the air cap on the bottom, see if there's any pressure in there, let it out if there is, and then get this expansion tank out of here. Okay, so new expansion tank's in. We did fill just shy, or just looks like just a hair over 15. Is that going to be a major issue? I doubt it, but I'll let them know. Old expansion tank's there, draining out, filled completely with water. New one's in, and just fired the boiler back up. Temperature's going to start to drop, and once we do, the boiler will kick back on and we'll have flame. And I'm going to do a combustion test because it doesn't appear that was done here earlier today, and we do that on every boiler that we touch. So we do a combustion test. I get why, because it's, a pain to get back there, but safety doesn't care how comfortable it is for me to take a reading. So get that combustion test. Once it fires back up, I'll get the test still kicked on and zeroed out. Also got stickers and tags and everything, because that's also missing here. Actually, we grab a sticker to throw on the water heater too. Okay. And yep, no circulators are running. I just wanted to make sure I shut off the thermostats. I want to make sure that everything shuts off. Our temperature, we hit our 180, and our pressure didn't go up all that much. We did go up slightly to about 20, but I think we'll be okay on the pressure side, and I'm fairly confident that the problem is resolved here. The system as a whole is now wired exactly as we would like. It'd be nice to have his own switching relay in place, a 2-zone switching relay to control those circulators, rather than have the boiler be controlling both the circulators. I don't know if that's really going to cause any issues. Again, it's been here since 2014, and he's only recently had problems where he did need to replace the control, and then after replacing the control, he was still having a problem. I was leaning towards somebody switched these TTs at some point, but I don't know. All I know is that our TTs were reversed when I got here, and I resolved that, and our pressure was an issue. I resolved that, and the system's burning safely. So if anything comes up, he can always give us a call. He's fairly close by to my house, but pretty confident that he'll be good to go. Can't really go wrong with just a cast iron boiler and 2 zones. It'd be odd to have some crazy issue going on if we get a brand new control and both our circulators pump. I think we should be fine. Okay, so I finished up there. He was a really, really nice guy.
At the stop sign,
and
turn
he is
right
actually
onto
already
South
subscribed to
Avenue.
my DC HVAC YouTube channel. That is how he found us, which is super cool. the issue seems to be
In
resolved.
half a mile, turn right onto Gibson Street.
Why TT was reversed, I don't know. That seems very odd that all of a sudden TT is reversed, but no, it's not. Expansion tanks replaced. I did not charge him for the time up until I went to replace the expansion tank, because really the reason that I was there was for a recall, but he seemed to be very happy. I hope he continues to use us, and that's it. I think I was going to say something else. Oh, I like when the boiler rooms are outside, because then I don't have to go in and out through the house and worry about bees and everything. It's just right there, and you don't have to worry about spilling water all over the place because you're outside. It doesn't matter. So that was nice. But I am headed home now. It is 4:21 p.m.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
Let's see. The dental office, I believe, took me about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. This took me about an hour. And then the first call took me 4 hours, which I didn't expect.
Then turn left onto Bay Avenue.
I quoted him for 3 hours, but it is what it is. It was pretty big pain to replace that heat exchanger. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I thought I'd be able to just pull it out, but I had to take apart everything to do it, which was fine. And he's happy.
Turn left onto Ocean Avenue, then turn left.
Safe heat, because his wife was worried all weekend that people were going to die.
At the stop sign, turn left onto
As
West
they should
Main
be,
Street.
because people
Then
could have
turn
died.
right onto Fifth Avenue.
With whatever that plumber, whoever it was working on that unit, did beforehand. It's unfortunate. It was he was a friend of the owner of the building. Excuse me. And he has cancer, which is why he's no longer maintaining the unit, but it's a good thing he's not maintaining the unit, because he was playing with people's lives. Carbon monoxide, with the amount that was sooting, definitely was producing more carbon monoxide than typical. I should have took a reading to see how bad it was, but yeah, so pretty good day. We've been having slower days. It's been like the slower time right now, but
in 1 mile, take a slight right turn toward New York, Route 27 West.
I think tomorrow I have a pretty full schedule. Let's see. No, tomorrow I only have 2 jobs. Warranty job too, for something that we supplied has failed. And Thursday I'm doing a nice job with Wild McLean Ultra. Friday I'm going to somebody's recall. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.